100 pounds is how much weight you can lose by the simple act of walking just 20,000 steps per day for several months. At least according to Google, you can. But not just that, it's also claimed to reduce stomach fat, improve sleep, boost your immune system, improve your mental well-being, and cognitive performance. And so I've decided that I'm gonna bring you with me for a week in my life where every day I'll be walking 20,000 steps and get to the bottom as to whether or not these claims are really true. So let's make this week's 140,000 total steps begin.
Excuse me, sir, if I don't stay incorrected. Is it right that I have 135,000 steps to go if I just spend a full hour walking? And I've done like 5,000 steps at this point?
Which is very slow because really I should be averaging between 6,000 to 8,000 steps per hour. But I got a good reason, okay? Yesterday I flew from Los Angeles
to Columbus, Ohio.
And so when I woke up in my Airbnb this morning,
I didn't have any breakfast at home.
So I walked to the grocery store, waited in line, and then
been eating my breakfast on my little walk here. I'm walking to the place that I have to go to today. So let's get walking. But first I have to show you what I ate.
Because to start off by answering the question as to whether or not walking can reduce belly fat, it really all comes down to what you eat whilst you're doing these 20,000 steps per day. Because we all know at this point, we can't spot fat reducer or fat in certain areas. And this is also why you won't get abs by simply doing crunches all day long. And the reality is we all store a majority of our fat in different areas. And I personally store most of my fat in my legs, my butt, and my arms. And not as much in my abs, which for you, this is going to look different. However, when I have a higher body fat percentage, fat will be stored all over my body. And when lowering my body fat, eventually the fat will also be reduced in most of my stubborn areas. And so when we're talking about lowering our belly fat, what we'll want to focus on is reduce our overall body fat. And this is possible if we focus on being in a slight caloric deficit, aka using more energy throughout the day than what we take in, as well as focus on increasing our overall muscle mass to build muscle and also burn fat at rest through resistance training and eating enough protein. Then yes, if we burn additional calories every day through walking and that leads us to being in a caloric deficit, we will eventually be seeing this affect our belly fat as well. And because of this, I'll be showing you what I eat throughout this video as well as give you my favorite food hacks as per usual. And as for the question as to whether or not it's possible to lose 100 pounds by this simple act of walking, we will get to that later in this video because first, let's get back to my weirdo breakfast.
I haven't done this in years, but it's so delicious. 58 grams of protein, 500 calories. I mean, honestly, a lot of people are gonna say this is gross, but whatever. I have like one left. This comes with like 14 in the package and I have literally one left. It's protein tortilla. And then I got some chicken slices. Oh my God, I can already see the comments saying, ew, what's in the world? But just trust me on it, okay? Put the chicken, and also I kind of just dropped it before, so there's a little mud on there, but since this is the last slice I have, we gotta do it. And we just roll it up, and then we gotta wrap. It's pretty damn good. I also got these two little yogurts. 50 calories and 11 grams of protein? What? That's my mess right there.
The number one challenge for most people when they think about walking 20,000 steps is time. And well, I feel that way as well. And so I had to be creative when coming up with a plan to make this happen. Here in Columbus, for the next 4 days, I'll be attending the Summit of Greatness, which I'm crazy excited about, but it will have me sitting down for a majority of the day. And well, on top of that, I had to somehow fit in my regular work tasks, my workout, be social, and well, get in these 20,000 steps. And so I thought a great way to get at least half of my daily steps in would be to get an Airbnb an hour walk away from the Ohio Theater, which is where I would be every single day, so that I, during my morning and night walk, could answer emails, jump on meetings, and see if I could do my daily social media postings for the day. And I think that for anyone who's got a busy schedule, the first step to getting in some additional steps is finding creative solutions, just like Robert from my October challenge had done.
I'm a university student. I got like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. going right now. But something I did well was finding alternate ways to my courses. So my class is 150 feet up on a hill. And for me, it's like walking up or walking back down versus driving the class.
That is amazing. How long extra do you use then?
If I drive there, it's like probably like 3 to 5 minutes. If I walk, it's like a 20-minute walk.
Then there's the parking, there's the getting to the car. So really it's probably ends up being pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
What you did was find creative solutions. And there's always a creative solution to fix our problem.
And in this video, I'll be sharing a ton more creative solutions if you're someone who also wants to get in more steps without it taking more of your time. Because in the morning of day one, even though I was only a couple of thousand steps into this challenge, I was already feeling the incredible energizing benefits.
I met up with Sonia. She's here at the event with me. We're doing it together. Yes. And we've been to one workshop and we're already very inspired.
I'm a deep thought, spiritual girly. I will sit there.
We got the same vibes.
The reason that I'm at Lewis House self-development event for the second year in a row is really the same reason as to why I'm doing this 20k steps experiment, because I believe that I always feel the most fulfilled when I'm growing.
When I first got to LA, his self-development book, The School of Greatness, was the first one that I read, and it literally changed my life because it made me set goals, and when I set those goals, then I started taking action towards, and all these miracle moments started happening in my life.
And on the subject of reading books, even though I highly recommend you come to this event next year,
I cannot recommend it enough. It is firing me up.
When I'm out on my daily walks, an incredible way to continue to learn and grow and daily get inspired is combining the two and listening to audiobooks. That is just a great way to kill two birds with one stone. And while as we're talking about being productive with our time after our second workshop, we had a 2-hour lunch break. So I decided to get some more steps in and
Made it to the gym on foot. Because we walk in everywhere this week and we allow it.
Because I only had this 2-hour lunch break to get this gym session done today, it would have been so easy for me to skip it. And trust me, my brain totally came up with a lot of excuses as to why I did not need to do it. But the thing is, the better we get at not allowing these excuses to determine whether or not we get the thing done that we promised ourselves to get done, the more self-respect and confidence we gain. And well, consistency really is the key to reaching any goal, isn't it?
I think I gotta build my biceps up a little bit if I'm gonna look like that guy.
We gotta have a little bathroom talk because there's 3 things happening. 1, I just hit my 15 total step mark. Only 5,000 more to go. But it hasn't even been hard. You just gotta drop the car and walk everywhere, and it's very easy actually. Second thing is a challenge. Like, it'll be a challenge every single day. I got 23% left for battery, so we gotta charge it. But this girl, she came prepared. And third thing is actually something more serious. But first, I got snacks in the bathroom. Do more, stress less. Ooh, really good. But it says to drink in the morning, so I think it's not the best time. 7 out of 10. Sausage. 6 grams of protein. We love it. That tastes Danish. Tastes like the thing we put on the rye bread in Denmark. 7 out of 10. No, this on the other hand, we don't sugarcoat, we skinny dip. That's my vibe. 9 out of 10. I went to this summit exactly 1 year ago, and it's so cool to come back and experience how I've changed. Coming back, I can feel the anxiety and insecurity I felt back last year going into this. And it's funny because when you're insecure, you almost put up more of a front, where when you really work on your self-love, accepting yourself, you don't need that acceptance from others. And when you don't need that acceptance from others, you can just relax and be yourself and walk into any situation. Just knowing you're good enough.
The reason that I'm sharing this is because I believe a large part of my growth that I've felt over the last year has come from me walking in solitude in nature, and from having awakenings show up while I'm walking and allowing my mind to wander without the constant digital distractions, because this type of inner work and reflection just can't be done when we're sucked into constant notifications and to-do lists that we experience on a daily basis.
Self-development is just cool. Development is the new. Can someone in the comments help me?
For the rest of day 1 of this challenge, I grabbed myself some lunch, went to a Summit of Greatness social event, grabbed some snacks for my stroll home.
Yum, yum, yum. Ohio peaches.
Oh wow, that's good.
And my daily carrot and apple intake, of course, remain.
We overstepped today.
24,000 steps, almost 17 kilometers. And the crazy thing about this is I only burned 300 calories in my workout, so over 1,000 calories. So keep that in mind for later in this video when we're talking about how we can use the simple act of walking as a weight loss tool.
Good morning. I've been getting up at 4. Even though 4 is like 1 LA time, my body just kind of ends up.
As I mentioned in the beginning, there's a claim saying that additional steps will lead to improved sleep, and I think that we can all agree that walking and other forms of exercise expend our energy, which makes us tired. Put that head on the pillow at night, because when our body is exhausted, it'll want to sleep. However, something that I think is important to keep in mind is that when we happen to finish up our daily steps or movement right before bed, it could potentially hinder us in feeling fully relaxed to be able to fall asleep because of our body's adrenaline that increases after movement, which then hinders us into feeling fully relaxed to fall asleep.
Thank you guys for being here. I hope you had fun yesterday.
Now, it wasn't until day 4 that these 20,000 steps became a real challenge for me, because during the next 2 days, I did my daily stroll to and from the theater. I got extra steps in during the breaks, both to get coffee during the smaller breaks, which sometimes I got to enjoy and other times
I spill it all over the floor. It was can confirm. I felt
the
so bad.
and then longer walks during our lunch breaks, both by the lake where we recorded a podcast. We walked to get food, which for me, for the most of the time, includes some sort of veggie and lean protein. Oh my god, if you're ever in Ohio, you have to try this place. It was my favorite last year and it still just hit the spot. And you know what else hit the spot? This most beautiful engagement that made me tear up all the way on the final day of the summit. And then on my stroll home every day,
Almost home, and we have reached 20,000 steps. It has been a good day.
I would go grocery shopping, which walking to the grocery store is something that I always highly recommend. Just bring a large backpack with you, and that's amazing steps right there.
I love having an Airbnb so that I can do a little bit of cooking myself if I want instead of a hotel room. But I always go to the store hungry, so I always get a little grocery snack that I eat while we do the cooking. I sometimes give book recommendations, and I just want to share 5 books that have been impactful in my life that I've been reading recently. I just got Captivate, which is Vanessa Ben Edwards' book. She was one of the speakers today. Absolutely love it so far. Been listening to that on my way home. I gotta pour some egg whites. Second, if you've ever had an eating disorder in the form of anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating, I highly, highly recommend Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating. It's really, really good. Binge eating is something that I've done a lot, as in emotional eating, if I've ever felt lonely or to just like eat my emotions away instead of feeling them and working on what actually needs to be solved. Highly recommend. Be Your Future Self Now by Benjamin Hardy. You gotta read that book. Manifest by Roxy Nafusi. Powerful. And I'll give one more. 10x is easier than 2x. And that's by Dan Sullivan and also Ben Hardy.
On day 4 is when it got tricky because I had a long flight back to Los Angeles. But when you have a goal, you want 20,000 steps in a day.
I am leaving the house early this morning. If you want to get in your workout, you just gotta get up and get it done. And because I'm walking there, I did have to leave a little earlier than if I had driven there, but I get to listen to audiobook, which is gonna make my mind wander and think of all the things I want to do and be and create, and that excites me for the day. So I'm happy.
Oh my god, I'm home.
Made it. I have a quick question for you. I'm gonna grab the camera mic because the audio is probably insane. But you know what else is insane? Staying comfortable. When was the last time when you were at the gym, you pushed yourself so hard that you were like, I'm gonna die, but you kept going? Next time you go to the gym, that's how you're gonna work out, and you're gonna leave the gym so proud of yourself. And then you're gonna go into the rest of the world and exceeding every expectation you have of yourself because you just proved to yourself that you are capable of doing something really freaking challenging. And if you can do that within one area of your life, you can do that within other areas of your life.
Because I'd planned my steps early on this day, when I landed in Los Angeles at night, I'd almost reached my goal already.
So I'm about to grab an Uber at LAX, and I can either choose to stand in this long line and wait for the bus to arrive so that it takes us to the Uber stop, or I can walk. Guess what? We're walking.
And on this little walk, I hit my goal, but now was when the real challenge had begun. Coming back to LA, I had a massive pile of work to catch up on, a ton of shoots lined up.
I am on my way to a commercial shoot that my agent booked me for.
And even though I was hired as a dancer on this shoot, there's always a ton of waiting around and not a lot of steps to be done. There are some great snacks and some incredible chairs to be made all pretty in. And on the next day, I helped my friend Shervin.
In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the Edge Tub.
Our YouTube video.
Oh, it looks so cool.
3, 2, 1, go. Is that easy?
So nice.
No reaction.
And even on this fitness related shoot I did, barely any steps were taken.
We are shooting in a little cool home today. Bye.
So once again, I had to come up with some creative solutions and run all errands on foot.
I'm walking around in circles inside my bank because I have a meeting here and I don't want to sit still because we gotta get those steps in, you know.
And while I'd be eating and walking, working and walking.
Every morning I go on these little walks, so I edit on my computer, and then every time it's ready to be posted, I walk outside for just like the 15 minutes it takes to post on the 3-4 different platforms that I post on. So productivity. We're trying to get those steps together with the work.
Grocery shopping.
I just got groceries. I've been out walking for like 2 hours now. The amount of work I've been able to get done, like I wrote a to-do list of like 10 things that I had to
recall, errands or emails I had to get back to, contracts I had to sign, things like that, I've been doing while walking. It's actually more productive than one would think.
But my turtle speed walks, they were time consuming. Not always enough for me to hit my 20K. And so
I know a really good way to get a lot of stuff done. Is that gonna work?
while I dance, let's answer the question as to whether or not it would actually be possible to lose 100 pounds by the simple act of walking 20,000 steps per day. Well, in theory, you have to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit to lose 1 pound. And if a person that weighs 300 pounds eats at his maintenance calories and burns an additional 1,650 calories per day by walking 20,000 steps for 7 months, then yes, if my calculations are correct, this person would in fact lose 100 pounds.
But did I lose any weight during this challenge? We'll find out shortly.
Every time I dance, I'm like, I need to do it more. I love it so much. The thing is,
My to-do list is never ending, and that is my own fault because I work for myself, but I just haven't made time for it lately, and I need to. We all need to make time for the things that bring us joy because this lit up my soul. I still need more steps though. Walking on Melrose. Ooh. Got my Teddy Blake bag with me. I love this thing so much. I brought it with me to Turkey, Denmark, Ohio, all the places. It's coming with me. I love it. Thank you, Teddy Blake.
I kept the dancing going at the gym and it helped me get in some extra steps. But this step goal was not always very convenient, and by the end of the week I was starting to develop a little bit more of a love-hate relationship with it.
Having a target like this can be really annoying. It's almost my bedtime and I haven't fully hit my step goal yet. And I also haven't unpacked since coming back. So if I just got that done, then I think I will hit my goal. Cleaning and small things around the house, the steps add up.
Conclusion: did it affect me positively doing this challenge for 7 days? Absolutely. All the claims on the internet are sort of kind of true. Was it also annoying and inconvenient at some point? Yes. So will I continue doing it? No, but I will continue doing as many steps as able to without it taking over my life as it somewhat ended up doing in this experiment.
And as to whether or not I lost weight during these last 7 days, I did not, because I made sure to enjoy eating those extra calories burned.
I would so appreciate if you wanted to join the family. But if not, that's okay. As long as you walk your steps, stay happy and good to yourself.
I'm gonna be a happy girl.